Isaiah 58 verse 12. The second reason why you need to build an altar and understand why altars are important. Isaiah 58 verse 12. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places, and thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. And when you read it in this manner, so let me come to verse 10 and then come down. Oh no, verse 11. And the Lord shall guide thee, continue verse 11, and satisfy thy soul in ground, and make thy bones fat, and thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of waters, whose water fail not. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places, and thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations, called the repairer of the breach, and the restorer of paths to dwell in. And when you read scriptures like this, it's God emphasizing the place of man and what he has given to man, and how God will use man to restore his identity and restore is this. I say, he, the Lord, will make these people be under his guide continually, and he will satisfy them in drought. He will make their bones fat. He will make them like a watered garden and like a spring of waters, and their waters will not fail. So obviously God is talking about you and I, the child of God, who are instruments in his hand that God desires to use for his purpose. And in talking about us being a watered garden and us being a spring of water, and making our bones fat, and satisfying our soul in the blood, and we being guided by him continually, he said we shall build the old waste places. Now if the Bible says, underline that phrase for me, we shall build the old waste places, meaning there are some old waste places that must be built, and thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach and the restorer of paths to dwell in. And so these same people that will be called the watered garden shall build old waste places. They shall raise up foundations of many. Now underline the word foundations of many for me, because God has called us not only for us and us alone, but for us and our generations after us. Hear me, child of God. God's agenda is a transgenerational agenda. Can I say that again? God's intent for you and I is a transgenerational intention. God's agenda is transgenerational. He is looking not only to you, but to save you and your household and your children's children and the children's children after you, and anybody that chooses to align himself. That is God's plan for you. And so in the book of Acts, it says when he saves you and your house. Why? Because his agenda is transgenerational. He wants to move us from just being you to the seed after you, to the seed after you and you. So he blesses not only you, but blesses you and your children, blesses your children's children, blesses your great grandchildren and the generation after. Why? Because his agenda for you is transgenerational.